This is the eufy S1 with all-in-one station, also called the HydroJet robot vacuum and mop combo. When I opened the box for the first time, what struck me was how futuristic this thing looked. I mean, you know how regular robot vacuums are usually round, pretty basic, and kind of disappear into the background? The S1 goes a different route. It's got this sharp square shape, sleek lines, black glossy plastic, and a base station that honestly looks more like a piece of high-end audio equipment than anything meant for cleaning my floors. It's surprisingly compact, so it doesn't eat up half the room, but at the same time, it definitely doesn't hide. If you imagine it sitting in your living room, it really feels like a centerpiece of modern tech. From my experience, setup was really simple. All the parts were packed neatly, and the instructions are pretty clear, which is good for someone like me who doesn't love assembling new gadgets. The S1 itself feels solid, not flimsy at all, and the UniClean station is slick with its transparent panels, LCD touch controls, and clearly labeled tanks. I actually appreciate how the controls are right in front of you, so you don't always have to hunt through an app just to start or stop a cleaning cycle. There's even this see-through water tank so you can immediately tell if it needs a refill, which helps a lot for anyone who forgets about these things. I'm definitely guilty of that. Getting it started for its first run, I'll admit, I had my doubts. Does it really do everything it claims, or is it just hype? Right off the bat, though, I noticed how different it was from my old round vacuum. That square design actually pays off. A quick review of how it moves in corners. Honestly, the S1 gets really into those hard-to-reach areas. My previous robot always left little dust bunnies in the corners, and I'd have to go back over them myself, but the S1 actually handles edges really well. Key features on the S1 impressed me right away, especially the way the all-in-one station works. This isn't like the old days where you had to empty the dustbin or clean the mop pad after every use. The S1 literally returns to its base and takes care of everything. It empties itself, refills its water tank, even washes and dries the mop with heated air. There's a dual water tank for clean and dirty water, which means the mop isn't just pushing old water around. To me, this is pretty close to hands-free as I've seen in a robot vacuum. The real star here, in my opinion, is the floor washing system. Basically, the mop uses a rolling action with downward pressure. If you're not familiar, most robot mops just drag a damp pad, which is fine for light cleaning, but useless for any real sticky stains. The S1's HydroJet system spins the mop at 170 RPM and applies around a kilogram of pressure, so it actually scrubs the floors. The difference is easy to see, especially if you have pets or a busy kitchen. I've seen dried coffee, spilled juice, and even mud tracked in from outside disappear in one pass. No streaks either. When it's done, it washes itself so you're not stuck dealing with a smelly, dirty mop every few days. I want to talk about suction, because numbers don't always mean much if you're new to robot vacuums. The S1 has 8,000 p, and in plain terms, that's about double what you'd get with mid-range models. What that means for day-to-day use is it grabs all the crumbs, sand, pet hair, and even the stuff that hides deep inside carpets. I did a little test by accidentally dropping chips on the kitchen floor, and honestly, they were gone after one go. For people with kids, or if you're just a little messy like me, it's a real time saver. Another area I was curious about was navigation. I've owned robots before that spend half their life bumping into chairs and getting stuck on cords. The S1's AI.C obstacle avoidance is different. It uses a combo of LiDAR cameras and smart sensors to dodge toys, slippers, tangled cables, and shoes. I watched it recognize a pile of socks and change course, which just doesn't happen with older vacuums. You can map out rooms using the app, set virtual boundaries, and even manage multiple floors. It handled my 2-story house without missing a beat. Now talking about what I really like, top of the list has to be how much time it saves me. The automation feels complete. I used to spend half my Saturday doing vacuum maintenance, emptying bins, washing mop pads by hand, untangling hair from rollers. The S1 does all of that without asking for help. Speaking of pet hair, the brush has a smart detangling feature, so I don't have to sit on the floor pulling hair out every weekend. Battery life is awesome too, over 3 hours on one charge. I have a pretty big downstairs area, and the S1 manages it all in a single clean. Another big plus for me is the app. It's simple, lets you control everything from cleaning schedule to power settings, and works with voice assistance. I set it to clean while I'm out, so I always walk into a place that feels fresh. The ability to see where it's cleaned and set up no-go areas is just super useful if you have kids' play zones or sensitive rugs. Of course, no device is perfect, so let's talk about what I didn't love. The biggest thing for me is the price. This is definitely a premium gadget, and honestly, not everyone needs top-of-the-line features. If you live in a small apartment or don't really need advanced mopping, it might be overkill. Another thing, while the base is sleek, it's also tall. You can't just stick it under a table. Anyone with limited space might need to plan ahead for placement. I'd also note that while the S1 does great on hard floors and low-pile area rugs, it sometimes struggles a little with thick carpets or really getting deep down grime out of long fibers. If your house is mostly thick carpet, you might need to supplement with a traditional vacuum every now and then. One little gripe for me is the app can get a bit picky. Once or twice I had to restart it to reconnect, and while it's loaded with features, some competitors have a few extra options for really fine-tuning mop behaviors. Maybe future updates will address this. For pet owners, I will say while the vacuum does a great job at not tangling hair, sometimes a bit of fur still gets left on shaggier rugs, so I do check those spots after a clean. In conclusion, from my experience owning several robot vacuums, the S1 is easily the most comprehensive, self-sufficient one I've used. There's a real sense of freedom in being able to ignore floor cleaning for days at a time, and the actual cleaning results are better than I expected. It's perfect for anyone with pets, kids, or busy schedules who values a spotless home without a ton of extra work. I'd recommend this for people with larger spaces, open floor plans, or anyone who has trouble keeping up with daily messes. If you want future-forward automation and don't mind the investment, this is definitely worth considering. If you're thinking about upgrading your cleaning routine or just want to see how far robot vacuums have come, definitely check this one out. If you have questions about my experience or want to share your own, leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more quick reviews and updates on the latest tech for your home. Thank you for watching.